Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast in which we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate The Last Jedi, one probing minute at a time. My name is Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
My name is Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
And I'm Ken Plume from KenPlume.com.
Welcome back, Ken.
Well, it's great to be back. Also, Alex, I love in your intro that there is clearly a camera right in front of you that you could have pointed at, but you pointed off to the side.
Well, he was trying to get me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was pointing at my picture on the screen, but
make the listener/viewer feel special.
Right.
We already feel special. We're here doing this
For you.
Make them.
This one's for you.
Not you. You.
Yes.
No. Move to the side. Yeah, you. There you go.
Behind you. Sorry.
No, now it's the Scrooged.
Anyway, we're here talking about minute 47 of The Last Jedi. Minute 47. It starts off with Kylo Ren asking if Rey can see her surroundings. And it ends a minute later with Luke telling Rey about the island inhabitants who take care of her surroundings.
I wonder what you would call people who take care of the surroundings. What Star Wars name did they come up with for them? It's a weird one, right? Is it some kind of like the boar stacks or
the Lanai? I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's spelled Lanai.
That's where they hang out, right? And they talk to the Golden Girls.
Yeah. That's the cheesecake, right? Is that where the cheesecake comes in? Do they make the cheesecake on the island?
I mean, we only hear them referred to as the caretakers, and then the species is given like Lanai. But I love that I love the caretakers. Let's jumping ahead. We're doing it. There's two parts to this. We'll do the second part first. But I love the caretakers. I think they're great. I forgot when this whole sequence started yesterday's minute, and she shoots through the wall. I was you see the hole in the wall, and I was like, I thought there was like a button on that where like you see the caretakers upset about that, and I was like, I guess not. Maybe that's in a later thing, and forgot the scene kind of continues, and then at the end of it, you get this kind of.
Is this what the whole premise of this show has done to you? That you forget that there are scenes that happen after the thing that you're talking about for the half hour at a time?
It's normally it's gone from me forgetting what happens in which movie to even within the same movie being like, did we see this already? What's going on? Have I?
You become unmoored from time.
Behind the scenes, let me let everybody know that in between last week's episodes and this week's episodes, I ended up watching the whole movie again with my kids. And so like now I have a whole different frame. I was like, no, we saw this already. Oh no, wait, I saw this with, just over the weekend.
Wow.
So
you're like the Dr. Manhattan. You're like living in different times at the same exact time.
What's weird is that Alex has yet to see the film.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want it to be ruined.
He's just
the only reason he does the show is to find out what happens in these movies.
He's just improv. He's freeballing. He's just like, oh yeah, when Kylo Ren did that thing, that was good, right?
If they ever invent a way to watch these movies more than 1 minute at a time, I'm totally on board. So come on, Hollywood, get with it.
I love how off-kilter Kylo is leading off of his failed mind control, his failed mind trick in the last scene.
Yeah.
And now he's just sort of like, can you see my room? It's awesome, huh?
He should be like, hiding stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't look at that.
Yeah. That's deleting his browser history. But I love that he's
sports car bed.
Yeah.
His Darth Vader head bed. Come on.
Oh, that's true.
With a little Darth doll.
I do love that he's the nerd about, he wants to know the tech of the call. She's still upset about, she's like, oh, it's him, and he killed, my new father figure. And she's still upset about that and wants, revenge. And he's just like, what's going on? Wait, if I do this, can you see this? Like, can I wait? Like, you can hear me. Can you hear the droid? Like, he's just totally like figuring out the tech of the call. He's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's weird that her first reaction is emotional, and his thing is intellectual, is like analytical.
Right.
So it's weird because you would think it would be the opposite. You think the evil guy would be the first one to try to kill, and she'd be the one being all
I don't know
calm
if
and
it's if it's so emotional as she seems present in the moment to, that is the threat guy, and I should act on this because he is the guy who is the bad guy that just killed my dad figure.
Right.
So it seems like she's quicker on the draw. He's the one who seems sort of out of sorts, particularly when he tries launching in that last scene with his mind trick. He's just sort of like, oh, wait, what?
Right.
Right.
But where she seems very sort of in the moment of, this is a threat, it presented itself, I need to address this.
Right.
In that sort of Han shot first moment, present, aware, ahead of the curve, and he's just sort of, what's going on? I mean, he's tired. He was in the middle of a procedure. There might have been some drugs involved.
That's true. Maybe there's...
He might be on some kind of anesthesia.
Boy,
He's oozing wounds from his face.
I do want to see the anesthesia droid.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like he comes up all the time, and I can never remember his name for some reason, because he's not one of the Joe E's, but he's the...
Joey Ross?
No, but he's
Joe...
No, it's the...
No, the other one. You must know, Ken. Who are the other Joeys? Joey Ross, Joe E. Brown.
Joey Lawrence.
He's
Joe E. Brown, Joe E.
Tata.
There's another... Joey Tata.
But he's not one of the Joe E's. He's the other guy who's the Uncle Albert from Mary Poppins, whose name I always forget.
Ed Wynn.
Ed Wynn, thank you.
Oh, Ed Wynn. Oh,
so
yeah,
no Joe or
No,
E.
that's what I'm saying. He's not one of the Joe E's.
So why did you bring up Ed Wynn?
Because I that's what I pictured the anesthesia droid sounding like. He's just like, like sounding like Uncle Albert.
So basically he's just like, with a little anesthesia will do you fine.
I'll knock you right out.
Yeah. That's quite a boo-boo you got there.
Oh, Kylo.
Well, we've all established we can do pretty good Ed Wynn impressions.
Yeah. That was what the show was for, right?
Yeah.
Did we?
Well, we're jealous of the rave reviews that Joe Dater got for his Jack Benny impersonation. So now we wanted to mix in some other
all the vaudeville greats,
old-timey comedians. But I do, it is. You're both right that it is like it makes sense for them to be doing this in this context, but it is kind of a reversal of what like Rey has been, dealing with all this kind of new interesting things happening to like the crazy stuff going on around her, and she's been like excited and like wide-eyed and smiley about like, oh, we're gonna do this, and like and Kylo Ren, we've seen him just flip and destroy a control panel when something doesn't go his way. Then all of a sudden we do get that moment of, oh, here's something, here's a moment where we're, we could easily expect to see Kylo Ren react emotionally and Rey being like, this is cool, what are you doing, But it's flipped, it's reversed. But it makes sense that it's in their character based on what has most recently happened to them. Whereas, Rey did just hours ago watched Kylo Ren, kill their shared father figure and who
she just met hours before that.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Kylo's he got a visit from the Ed Wynn droid.
Yeah.
And she has just been rejected by what would have been her new father figure, mentor,
right.
influence.
Yeah.
And so she's sitting on a hut on a weird planet.
Mm-hmm.
So when Luke appears in the background,
his old man moment. What's all this then moment.
I love that because that was like a glimpse into what Corvette Summer Mark Hamill would have eventually turned into, like this beach bum guy. Hey, what's going on down there?
You didn't hurt my vet, did you?
So I like that he's like this burnout kind of like,
it's a cherry ride.
It does get like it's a good kind of not a fake out, but there's a moment where he comes out and he's like, what's that about? And like you can't tell for a second whether he's talking about if he sees Kylo 2 on the move or if he's talking about the hole in the hut, which is what he is talking about.
But he's got very old man pose.
Oh yeah,
he's sort of hunched over. It's he's basically come out in his bathrobe.
Yeah,
because that seems to be the equivalent of what he's wearing the whole time there. He's
Cup
the
of
dude.
coffee.
He's basically the dude.
Right.
Well, what's going on? What's over there? What'd you do? Oh, you're gonna make them mad.
Whoa. That hut really brought the room together.
But this is also the sort of first foreshadow that what we're eventually get revealed that he's cut himself off from the Force, so he wouldn't have seen Kylo regardless.
Right.
Well. So that was my question: was Kylo is aware of Luke Skywalker? Can he see Luke Skywalker, or is he just picking up that Rey is seeing Luke Skywalker? Like in her thoughts, she thinks Luke Skywalker, and then that hits Kylo Ren. Is that what's going on, or does he literally see Luke walking around? Because he says he can't see the background, so I would think he couldn't see any other people.
Does he say he can't see, or he just asks her if she can see the background?
I think he says, I can't see your background.
Yeah. He says, he asks, hey, can you see my surroundings? I can't see yours.
So it's like Zoom.
Well, kind of, yeah.
I think he would assume that if he could see her background, he would have assumed that she could see his. But since he couldn't see hers, he had to check if she could see his.
But is the implication through the editing, you mentioned this in the last minute, Pete, about the J Slice of the audio cuts. I had to bring J Slice back into it, your DJ name. Is that...
Put his Twitter handle on the screen.
That they're bringing in audio elements in the Kylo scene from Rey's environment and vice versa.
Yeah.
Is the implication through doing that in the editing that Kylo is able to hear the surrounding environment in his location and vice versa? That's setting up so he senses that she's in another place. She can hear what's going on around him. And so maybe he did hear Luke's old man moment of, man, what's up? What?
Right. Yeah. I think either he heard him or she just noticed that she heard something and turned like, oh, like if you went to find Luke Skywalker and now you're talking to me, but then somebody, like if I knew that you went to find Luke Skywalker and then I called you on Zoom and you were talking and then in the middle of us talking, you were like, wait, what's that? Like, and you went to talk to somebody else, I'd be like, oh, is that Luke? Like,
hey, put him on.
Yeah.
Put him on.
Yeah.
Uncle Luke.
You mean he hasn't arrived yet? What?
He should have called him Uncle Luke when he said Luke. He should have said Uncle Luke. I think that would have been nicer to remind you.
Uncle Luke.
Unky Luke. Is that Unky Lulu?
Do you know what happened to my Loth cat that I used to sleep with? Is that still is it around?
Luke Skywalker, the member of Two Live Crew, Luther Campbell, he goes by Uncle Luke these days, does he not?
Wow, ring theory.
Is it based on this scene that we're discussing? Is that?
Is he mentoring a young woman in the arts of rap,
or declining to mentor?
No, he's a really interesting guy with an interesting story. That he's like a football coach and a mentor to like teenage boys now. Like
wow, now I've seen that.
It's always been kind of a passion of his, and then he when he was making a ton of money with Two Live Crew, that he did a lot of stuff with the local community, and then kind of kept
that's
pumping
nice.
that and parlayed that into kind of being a member of the community, having football kind of and outreach stuff and keeping kids off the streets, as it were.
Distracted by the idea of a Last Jedi remake with rapper Luke Skywalker as the.
And it was my understanding there would be no sports discussion.
I think it'd be called As Jedi as They Want to Be. That's the. But yes. What was my other? My next note we already covered because we talked about the caretakers. It's like I love the caretakers, which is not.
Well, I wanted to say a little bit more about the
show.
caretakers.
Go ahead.
I like the caretakers as well. I am. This is like the Talia sea serpent thing where I just can't believe how much effort they put into characters that you barely, well, I guess most of us have probably seen there was a deleted scene where there was a whole village where Luke and Rey went down. I think maybe just Rey, I don't remember. But
yeah, they had a party
rather than
and
just 4 caretakers for the entirety of the settlement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I love the fact that they had that world building in it and stuff. But it just seems like earlier in the movie, Ken, I was being the bean counter and being like, I can't believe how much money they waste. They spent $2 million on a puppet effect that lasts literally 15 seconds.
Right.
How dare they? How dare Star Wars build out?
It doesn't matter. It's not like it costs more money to see or anything like that. So I don't know why it aggravates. That doesn't aggravate me exactly.
Yeah, what are they just trying to sell toys?
Did they make?
Oh, man.
Ken, you would know. Did they make?
Toys?
Did they make a toy of the sea serpent that has like you could milk it?
I don't think they ever did. I would love that for the 12-inch scale. If I could have a large, what was the name of it? The Milk Beast? What's the name of that?
Talia Sea Siren.
Tala
the Sea Siren.
Talia.
Yes, Talia Sea Siren was in The Godfather, right? Isn't that Francis
Wrong
Coppola's
show.
sister? Is Talia Sea Siren?
Executive producer, Talia Sea Siren.
No, I don't think they ever did like a kit or like a sup. That's the thing that you would have expected a creature of that size to have. Although it's hard to have like, your milking toy set.
Well, that's why they should have done it not as they know that, adults are buying a lot of this stuff. They totally should have a little like, drink dispenser of some sort.
I was going to say like a cocktail, something you put on like your
Why
bar.
isn't that a Galaxy's Edge that you can just go up? That's the refill station.
Because it would only be a matter of time until some wise guy just went up and put his mouth on the nozzle, and you do not want
well, even,
hungry babies lining up all day. Who needs that?
When you are buying...
you mean the guy.
Yeah. When you're buying green milk at Galaxy's Edge, like it comes out of a dispenser instead of... They should totally have it like...
It should be shaped like a giant sea siren.
They should
That's just sitting behind the counter that they just put it up
at least in one spot. Not always, not everywhere.
Well, there's only one spot the milk comes out.
Oh,
not if you want it bad enough.
But
anyway, so there's thousands of these characters, as you can see in the Jedi book. There's like dozens of these caretakers with elaborate costumes, and it's really incredible. They should put that scene back in the movie. Or let's make it longer.
So all we really see are the sort of the convent religious sort of caretakers of that area.
Right.
Rather than what are the other ones there? What are there? Is there? It looks like
there's like the Lanai account.
It looks like when you go to Munchkin Land. Let me see. Is there a lollipop guild of the?
Oh yeah, there's also.
Is there a Lanai coroner?
Who is the sour looking one? Is he like the mayor? That's got to be the mayor. That's total mayor dress of the guy on the edge there.
He says he's a captain.
As mayor of the Lanai city.
Well, in the Lanai culture is divided up by gender. The female Lanai stay home and take care of the Jedi temple and stuff, and the males go out and they spend a month. They just come back once a month, and they spend the rest of their time fishing. And then they come home, give all the fish to the ladies.
Pablo Hidalgo has the best job.
Oh, I know, it's great
because there's no oversight. Come on, there's just pages to fill and photos, and it's just like. Come up with a world. Come up with a world for this.
Just make sure it all matches with itself. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Right. Make sure you don't say it takes 22 days
right.
to get from Tatooine to Coruscant, and you're all good.
The other noteworthy factoids about the caretakers, they have a common ancestors with porgs. They are evolved from birds, or whatever porgs are. So that's if you can't see their feet, but their feet are all like
birdish.
Porg, like bird feet. And all of their work tools are also double as musical instruments. So it's very musical culture. The Lanai people. You both look puzzled as I'm saying this. That's what it says.
I'm feeling bad that clearly there was a musical number that we all missed out on.
Well, at the party, there was the party scene, which had some. I'm assuming they were going to put some music in there.
Yeah, probably.
I was trying to
hear more jizz.
For the worst/best pun to make about weapons that are instruments. And a harpsichord was the only thing that I came up with.
Well, they're not weapons. They're like a washboard or a bucket, stuff like that. So,
so it's like Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
We haven't gotten to. Well, in the future, maybe we'll get to one of my favorite. What is the point of that tool that we see in use? Right. But Rey is awfully dismissive of them because she goes, "Who are those creatures?
No, what are those things?
Like what? That's
I'm telling you, Rey's the bad guy in this movie." She's using lines that Imperial officers
I understand. She's
used.
never been off Jakku. She hasn't seen the galaxy.
But
she's seen a lot of aliens.
She's seen a ton of aliens because it was a trading post, and she can speak a million different, alien languages.
And they're like clearly a culture. It's not like she's looking at porgs like these are creatures of this land. These are the people of this
they're wearing hats.
Planet.
Well, we don't know. To be fair, we don't know if creature, if those things means the same thing. The same, like if you say people, that might be like human centric.
But they're like, and they're in the process of repairing a wall that she just blew up. To call them like those.
Yeah. Who are those things? Is what she says.
That's,
so maybe
or
things
it's like,
just
who
how
are
you
those
describe-
jerks?
Right.
Who are those chumps?
Yeah. Bunch of
they're my
maroons
slaves.
over there.
It might.
Hold on. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, fix that, you jerks.
Because remember in Star Wars, when Officer Shan Childson is he meets up with Han and Luke in their stormtrooper costumes, and they have Chewbacca, and he's like, "Where are you taking this thing?" So like that same kind of maybe thing, calling somebody a thing in a world where there's lots of alien creatures, it becomes more of an insult, I think. So
yeah,
or
it seems
maybe
very dismissive.
Thing is the correct nomenclature, and he'd been censured for using creatures or other words, and so he was going to say like, "Where are you taking that monster?" But he said, "Where are you taking that thing?" Like he was being politically correct by using the preferred term. So
right. Okay.
No, I would not expect it of that character in that moment to be
either Rey is a racist and the Imperial is a racist, or neither of them are racist.
I'm saying she comes from a backwater planet she's never been off of.
So she's a racist.
No water.
She's
water.
She's learning about the outside world.
So the whole point of me yelling about the cost of the caretakers, who I do like.
You're going back to this? Jeez, what were you, the accountant at the studio?
My last note was comparing the budgets of The Last Jedi versus A New Hope. New Hope's budget was $11 million, $1977,
right.
$1976 probably, which today would be, you want to take a guess?
I got distracted thinking about bicentennial quarters.
I would say $86 million.
$45 million. Star Wars would have cost $45 million to make. Last Jedi, $317 million. Crazy. Anyway, like I said, it's as the moviegoer, great. The more I see,
caretakers, it was worth it.
Totally.
How much of that went to Laura Dern?
And also, those tools are also instruments.
$300 million.
Do you know how hard it is to manufacture that capability?
Yeah.
There's a whole R&D process.
It does make you wonder, though. Imagine if George Lucas had $300 million to make the original Star Wars.
I just want to know.
It wouldn't have been as good. That's the
thing.
I know. The shark is still working problem.
Yeah.
The thing that always comes out of our conversations is I wind up buying an action figure that we were wondering existed. Did the caretakers ever get?
You'd know more than we would.
I want them if they did. I want 12-inch scale. I want 1/6 scale caretakers. I want them all over.
It appears that the caretakers, they got a pop figure, which I don't count.
I might.
That's not a proper Star Wars figure. I am.
I've only got a couple of my one pop on my desk here is Mark Hamill himself. But
it looks like there was a release in Japan.
Just like the book.
Star Wars World collectible figure. And it's not even one of the caretakers we see on screen.
Oh, no. It's one of the party
yes,
caretakers.
Please, Alex, identify using your reference book.
That looks like
it's a party
Captain Akwamimanu, the one that you pointed out looks like a kind of
Akwamimamu.
His vest is made out of shells, and it works as a flotation device.
That's totally a Don Pardo name. Captain Akwamimamu. This is entirely affordable. Okay.
Also, we should stop talking. People do not like it when we talk about the toys, so we should probably.
Well, I do think that they should the maintenance crew at Galaxy's Edge should dress like caretakers.
I think they should dress like droids.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I want them to be as uncomfortable as possible. I want them to be full-size actors who have to pretend to be Ugnaughts, so they have to scurry around.
I want the cast members dressed as caretakers. There's a section of the park that any guest can just knock stuff down, and their only job is they're having to put it back together. Whenever a guest walks over like a jerk and just pushes things down or breaks something,
it's like a ball pit or something. It's a place where you can just
they have to scurry over and fix what the guest just did and have to be exasperated all day.
I like it.
That's a job I would like. If I could openly be exasperated at customers, that's a job I would. That's better.
At the end of the day, in talking about this minute, I just would really love a great, like, Gentle Giant diorama statue of old man Luke all just bent over and get off my lawning.
And what's that about?
When he comes out of his hut.
You press the button. He's like, what's that about?
Yeah. That's all I want. All I want is cranky old man Luke.
Let's make Ken Plume happy. Please donate, won't you?
I want to get one of those like staples, like, that was easy buttons, and replace it, like reprogram it. So instead of saying that was easy, have it being Luke being like, what's that about?
What is going on? Stop, what? No. Huh? Yeah, it's all just questions. It's all questions asked in an exasperated manner.
It reminds me of when they would, there was a TV show called Mad Men. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. And whenever they would say next week on Mad Men, they would show like a 30-second clip, and it would all just be characters saying out of context things that you could tell you no information. Like, do you think we can do it? I'll get right to work. Right. What are you saying? Like, it's just stuff that could mean anything. So those phrases should all be
Luke
stuff
totally
that
woke up from a nap, right? Isn't that the sense you get? Is that that in the middle of just like,
I've seen his schedule.
I was so tired from all the fish. Why? What? No.
All that racket down there.
Right.
Stay away from my car.
I keep it at the bottom of the ocean. But
well, that's all I have for minute number 47. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about it?
No, this kind of continues until tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot more
similar
a lot
stuff.
more Luke Rey action on Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
Jaws 3.
All I want to know is what's going on. That's all I want to know. Just, huh?
So, in closing, everyone, I just want to remind everyone that we have a merch store. StarWarsMinute.com/merch is where you can go. Just go right over there. You can see it on the screen. And StarWarsMinute.com/merch, all sorts of fun designs and stuff. And we want to encourage you to shop early and shop often, because some of these designs go up there, taken down very quickly, like the one I'm wearing now, which is no longer available. So it's almost like a built-in collector's item status.
Yeah, what a flex.
They're almost like
you see this? You can't have this.
Yeah.
Psych.
Yeah, we have from a couple of weeks ago, the Porgo Loco shirt just went up.
Right.
That was instantly popular. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say instantly taken down.
No.
Okay, good. So check that out, StarWarsMinute.com/merch, and check us out tomorrow for a brand new Star Wars Minute.
Let's all this then.